The Minnesota Lynx are going to have to make some big decisions this offseason with their expansion draft. For them, they just competed in the WNBA Finals, and it's looking like they cannot keep everyone back. The question is, do they invest in their future, or do they keep some of their big-name veteran free agents on this team? So let's take a look at their projected list right now that they're going to retain. You have Bridget Carrollton, Nafisa Collier, Caleb McBride, Alana Smith, Courtney Williams. No surprise there. They're keeping their starting five. Now, this is where it kind of gets interesting. Their unprotected list, and the reason why I didn't bring up Diamond Miller is because we're going to talk about her right now. The unprotected list is here. Natisha Heidemann, Maisha Hines-Allen, Dorcas, Alyssa Peely, and then Xana Lazzini. Now, all of those players that I just named get minutes. They have gotten minutes. Now, when it came to Diamond Miller, who's on the protected list, she didn't really play in the WNBA Finals. Her and Alyssa Peely are two of the young, bright forwards on this team that should be getting a lot more minutes, but they didn't really play. So now the question is, if they are keeping Diamond Miller, does that mean if you're Golden State, you are making sure that you take Alyssa Peely on your roster? My answer is unequivocally yes. Alyssa Peely is a bona fide scorer. This season, when she got enough minutes, she scored 20 points. She's only one of the few rookies who had a 20-point game this season. And the fact that she is still young and she can do a lot on the court, whether that be shoot from three or go to the rim, she can do a lot on the court and score in a bunch of different ways. So if you're Minnesota and you're not retaining her, Golden State needs to absolutely pick her up, because it's like you're getting another rookie in addition with your other rookies, and then you can bring in some veterans with these rookies. And Alyssa Peely will get some clock on Golden State's team. Now, the crazy thing is, because they are so deep, and that was one of the reasons why they made it to the finals, they could lose some of the other players. Natisha Heidemann is a free agent. She's unrestricted, so there might be a chance that she's leaving. Maisha Hines-Allen is also another free agent, so that might be a chance that she's also leaving. And again, if you're Golden State and you need a backup point guard, Natisha Heidemann is somebody good that you can kind of put on your team. Or if you need a starting point guard. Same thing with Hines-Allen. If you need a reserve forward, you could probably get her on your team and get a post player right there. If you're Golden State, you got to put your hands on this team right here and just pick some of these rosters. This is one of the deepest rosters in the WNBA. And it sucks because they're going to lose some people. They're going to lose some people. Now, the interesting thing about Diamond Miller, she is a bona fide star and in the making. She can score a bunch, and the same things that I said about Alyssa Peely, Diamond Miller can do this. A lot of those same things. She's a really good player, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do as far as the Minnesota Lynx and how many players Golden State might take off their roster. From a value standpoint, Diamond Miller, again, as the number 2 overall pick, you got to keep her. You got to retain her, especially if you're Minnesota, because if you don't, then Golden State will also get their hands on her as well. If Minnesota doesn't make the right choice between Peely and Miller, it could set them back a little bit, especially if they're not going to get a youth movement to kind of upstart this team and get them over the hump. Cheryl Reeve is expected to get either one of the two a lot more minutes this offseason, especially if you're going to lose on Hines-Allen, or especially if you're going to lose a Natisha Heidemann or a Dorcas or whomever. They're going to need to keep some of these players. So with this youth movement on this team, it's going to be very interesting decisions that the front office will have to make. The other question is, if they do decide to keep this youth movement going and they lose some veterans, will those veterans be able to continue to match their production? Meaning, like, if they keep the rookies, will they still be able to still produce the way that they need them if the veterans do happen to leave off this team? Now the question is, do you think Minnesota should try and keep another veteran or Diamond Miller with their last pick, or even someone else? Y'all let me know in the chat. Deuces, y'all.